here to preview the 2018 football season with DeKalb County coach Steve Trapp. Coach Trapp, first of all, thanks for doing this with us today. The first question I have for you, last season didn't end quite the way that you wanted to, 3-8 record, but you did go to the first round of the playoffs. Looking back, how do you reflect on last season?
Yeah, disappointing season. I felt like we had a better football team than that. Had some injuries, it was hard to overcome in the middle of the season, quarterback spot, running back spot. But with those injuries, we did get a glimpse of what our future could be. And with that being said, we're very excited about those guys coming in healthy and being able to make their names known now for DeKalb County football, because I think we're going to have a roster this year that, other than just a few names, it's going to be a lot of new names out there for the community to hear about.
You mentioned a lot of new names. You lost 15 players after last season. Which positions have been the hardest to fill?
All of our skill positions right now, as far as, we like playing with 4 receivers majority of the time. So other than Grace and Redmond, those 3 other spots are going to be by new players. And none of the other spots will be seniors. So we've got some freshmen that'll be in the mix at those receiver spots, some sophomores in the mix there as well. So, and that's the same thing for the back end of our defense as well, because those are the same guys. But it's that time of year where a lot of people around town are asking, hey, how are you going to be? How are you going to be? And the one thing that I keep saying is, well, we're young in the skill positions, but with the type of team that we have, our best players are where they need to be. So, David Bradford at the running back spot, he come in last year, after Seifert got hurt early in the year, and was a big surprise for us. And, he's a 6'1", 215-pound guy that likes that contact. So when you have a new quarterback starting, it's good to have that big running back to rely on. And then also up front on the offensive line, we got Isaac Cross. He's only a junior this year, but he's been playing a lot of football for us, started some as a freshman. And then Peyton Leaf, who's just going to be a sophomore, but as a freshman last year was a starter. Hunter Fan, who's a 4-year senior, was a starter for us last year. So with a young team at the skill position spot, like I said, our best guys are where they need to be.
You mentioned the quarterback position. Last year you saw glimpses of Alex Aldino at quarterback. What have you seen from him during this offseason?
Spring, we only had him for a day or two, after baseball, but he come in and performed very well in the spring scrimmage. Him and Connor Vaughn, they battled all summer. Connor's a 3-year junior. All through our 7-on-7s, we rotated position or reps with those guys, and basically told them who could move the offense better in July would be the guy that would be the starter. So they've competed all summer, and Axel gives us that dual threat capability. Got a very strong arm. And gives us that opportunity to have that young quarterback in and grow within the system, and could potentially be that next special quarterback for us here at DeKalb County. But Connor's not made it easy on him at all. So it's good to have competition. We only got 50 players, but you draw it up on the board, and we've got 3 guys for every spot. And we don't always have that. So we feel good about where we are. Even though they're young, I think we got a lot of potential.
With so many new and so many young players coming in, who have you seen that could fill in as a leadership role both on and off the field?
Grant Curtis and Isaac Cross, which Isaac, is the first underclassman I've ever named a captain in the winter. I've had a junior captain before, but that was more once we got into the fall or anything. And Grant Curtis, he's a 4-year senior. Hasn't been on the field a whole lot in 3 years, spot duty here and there, special teams guys, but our captains here at DeKalb County, they embody a whole lot more than just being a great player on the field. It's about their work ethic. It's about how they serve other people. And right at the top of the list, those 2 guys are what we look for in captains. So we're expecting a great deal of leadership out of them as well. Grayson Redmond, he got injured, a significant injury in the playoff game last year, and was really up in the air if he was going to play football. I mean, in his mind, he was going to the whole time, but with a neck injury like that, you have to pay your dues. But I've told him all summer, I said, you look like a 4-year senior should look. We've moved him back to the safety position on defense just so he can be that center fielder, and he's always wanted to play that position as well. But on offense, he's our go-to guy, and he's proven that, in our 7-on-7. So looking for him to be a big leader for us. He'll be another one of our captains. Andrew Hewson, you drive by the complex on a Sunday after church, he's out here kicking. He'll kick and then go chase the ball on his own. So just those guys that are going the extra mile when they're not told to, that's what we're looking for. Hunter Fan, Zach Day, another guy that's had spot duty his whole career, but he's another 4-year senior. that had a great spring, has worked extremely hard through winter workouts, and is going to be a guy that, you know, a lot of people's going to hear his name. David Bradford, again, we're going to lean on him. You know, he's our guy on the linebacker position, our guy in the backfield. So, you know, and he's just a junior, so we got 2 years of hearing him. So I like the mental makeup of our team. These guys don't complain a whole lot. They come to work. You know, so it's been very exciting up to this point.
What is the biggest strength for the team this year, and likewise the biggest weakness?
Well, you know, we get those questions every year. You know, strength-wise is, you know, I think this team has really bonded. And really we talk about that special ingredient every year, and that's what we call it. You know, how close can we become as a football team as far as I want to do my best for the guy next to me. I think this team really buys into that, and it speaks volumes for our leadership. You know, so, and if you look back over the history since we've been here, you know, we've had those years where we kindly fell back. And I call that the suffering stage, and tell them all the time, how can you know glory if you don't know suffering? So hopefully we're in that pattern again, to where last year was that suffering year, and then these guys get rewarded for going through that this year. But, you know, I definitely think that can be a strength for us. Weakness, you know, we are young. You know, I think we do have a lot of potential, but potential is just something that's not been proven yet. Like I said, we're going to have some freshmen step in, a lot of sophomores across the board. I think we only got 8 or 9 seniors, but all 8 or 9 of those seniors are people that we can rely on. So, you know, just gaining that experience through practice, that's one thing we've talked with them all through summer, is gain your experience now. Let's not wait till Friday nights to make a mistake and then learn. So that's what I would classify as our strength and weakness.
This team was picked to win first in the region this year. What are your thoughts on that ranking?
Was surprised, really. I mean, Murphy Fair actually called and was like, you know, just want to let you know that the other coaches voted y'all to win the region. And I'm like, well, I don't think that's where I would have voted. It's, no, but, you know, we always have expectation in this building. And, you know, we've never won a district championship, and I would love for that to happen. And I did let the guys know that, you know, because one of our team goals is for our program to be recognized outside of DeKalb County. And that's one way that we can measure that goal. So other coaches, other towns, other communities, they respect our program. They voted us there for a reason, because they feel like that we could do something substantial. But that's just paper talking. And ultimately, we've got to do what we've got to do to make that come true. So is it motivation? Yes. Is it something we hang our hat on? No. Because if they would have voted us last, we're still believing in this building that we could finish first.
Talk about coaching changes during the offseason. What will each coach be doing on the football field this year?
Well, we've had a lot of coaching change. I mean, there at one time it was only me and Coach Cagle left. You know, Coach Cagle is now the defensive coordinator. He's been our JVD coordinator for the last 2-3 years, so just a natural progression to move into that spot. He's done a great job with that. You know, and I'm the coach. As far as the head coach, you know, I don't micromanage it. You know, if he's the D coordinator, then we're going to do what he believes in this program needs to be doing, and we're all going to help and try to get that on the field the best we can. I'm still the offensive coordinator. You know, Uncle Clarence, he's still hanging in there with me. So offensive line and linebackers. He hasn't coached linebackers in the last couple of years, but he's always done a great job with that and very comfortable with that. So I think that's going to be a good thing for him. My cousin Brad, he coached with me a couple years ago. We got him back this year. He was my JV offensive coordinator, does a great job with that. So glad to have him back with us. And then Toby Noakes, you know, a guy that's, you know, he was ahead of me a few years in high school, so I've known him a great deal of time. Went through the junior pro ranks just like I did. You know, he's a DeKalb County guy, you know, excited to be here. We're excited to have him. So, you know, yeah, we got a new staff, but I'm very comfortable with what we got, and these guys they're DeKalb County people. I mean, I know Coach Cagle lives in Cookeville, but he enjoys his time here, and the kids enjoy him. So we're just excited to start working and get these kids where we need to get them.
Lastly, Coach, when the lights come on for real in week 1, what are you expecting from this team?
You know, just hopefully some hunger. You know, last year I think our hunger, it kind of waned off there towards the end of the year. And, you know, with these young guys and your season not going as successful as you want it to go, sometimes you just start going through the motions. And, you know, even as coaches, you can let that fall in on you. So that's one thing that we've talked about all winter, is just that desire, valuing the process of work. I mean, yeah, I want to win every football game we play, but when these guys leave here, if I can say that they value the process of work, I feel they're going to be a successful human being. And I just think that team has it. Like I said, the month of June and July, no complaints, you know, in the heat. they showed up, they shut up and work every day, and that's what we ask them to do. So I just think it's going to be a hungry, exciting football team, and just excited to get it going.
And I know that we're excited to watch it,
Yes.
Coach. Yes, Coach, best of luck to you this season. Reporting for DTC Sports, I'm J.R. Smith.